Before we jump into X-Men 97 Season 2, we need to talk about everything that happened in the first season because this story changed the entire future of the X-Men. Season 1 wasn't just a return of the classic mutants we grew up with. It was a massive chapter filled with betrayal, sacrifice, shocking reveals, and events that completely reshaped the Marvel mutant universe. From Magneto taking over Xavier's dream, to the truth behind Jean Grey's clone, the fall of Genosha, Gambit's heartbreaking sacrifice, and the arrival of one of the X-Men's biggest enemies. Every episode left behind clues for what comes next. By the end of Season 1, the X-Men were scattered across different points in time. Their dream of human and mutant peace was nearly destroyed, and a new threat connected to the future of mutants had already begun to rise. So before Season 2 takes us deeper into this new era, let's go back and break down everything that happened in X-Men 97 Season 1 and how it sets up the future of the X-Men.
Me, my X-Men.
Magneto is back. X-Men 97 begins after the shocking events that changed everything. 1 year earlier, Henry Peter Gyrich attempted to assassinate Professor Charles Xavier, and after surviving the attack, Xavier left Earth with the Shi'ar Empire. To everyone on Earth, Charles Xavier was gone, and the X-Men were forced to continue his dream without their leader. But Xavier's absence created a strange new situation. Without him, the X-Men finally gained official recognition from the United Nations. The world that once feared mutants was now forced to accept them as heroes. The team continued protecting both humans and mutants, even though hatred against mutants was still spreading. The first major mission of the season introduces Roberto da Costa, a young mutant attacked by the anti-mutant group known as Friends of Humanity. They're using old Sentinel technology to hunt mutants, proving that the threat Xavier always warned about is still alive. The X-Men rescue Roberto and discover that the Sentinel program may not be completely destroyed. To find answers, the team visits Henry Gyrich in prison and uses Cerebro to search his memories. Jean Grey connects with his mind and discovers the location of Bolivar Trask, the creator of the Sentinels. But during the psychic search, Jean sees something terrifying. She experiences a vision that hints a massive disaster is coming. The X-Men travel to a junkyard in the Sahara where they find Trask and the remains of old Sentinels, including the Master Mold system. They destroy the remaining Sentinel technology and capture Trask. At the same time, Cyclops and Jean reveal that they want to leave the X-Men. Jean is pregnant, and they want to raise their child away from the constant danger surrounding mutant life. However, before they can leave, someone unexpected returns. Magneto arrives and reveals that Xavier left everything to him in his final will. The X-Men, the school, and Xavier's dream are now under Magneto's control. Magneto takes Xavier's place. Magneto's leadership immediately creates tension because everyone remembers his past. He was once humanity's greatest mutant enemy, but now he is trying to prove that he can become something different. Instead of attacking humans, Magneto begins protecting both sides and refuses to kill anti-mutant extremists. Cyclops does not trust him, but Rogue understands Magneto more than anyone else. She knows what it feels like to be hated because of being different. She also knows Magneto is one of the few people who can touch her without being hurt by her powers. When the United Nations tries to arrest Magneto for his crimes, he surprisingly agrees to surrender. He believes a trial could prove that he has changed, but during the trial, the Friends of Humanity attack. Their leader, Executioner, uses a weapon designed to remove mutant abilities. Storm tries to protect Magneto and takes the blast herself, causing her to lose her powers. At the same time, Jean goes into labor when a doctor refuses to deliver the baby because Jean is a mutant. Rogue is forced to absorb the doctor's knowledge and deliver the child herself. Jean and Cyclops welcome their son Nathan. Magneto defeats Executioner and saves everyone, proving that he is no longer the same person he used to be. The world begins accepting him, and Genosha, a mutant homeland, starts moving toward becoming part of the United Nations. But Storm receives devastating news. Beast tells her the loss of her powers appears permanent. Feeling lost without the ability that defined her, Storm leaves the X-Men to discover who she really is. Then everything becomes even more complicated when another woman appears who looks exactly like Jean Grey.
Impossible!
You stay away from our son!
The truth about Jean Grey. The X-Men quickly discover that the woman who looks like Jean is actually the original Jean Grey. The Jean living with them is a clone created by Mister Sinister. Sinister created the clone because he wanted access to Jean and Cyclops' genetic material. His plan was to create a powerful mutant using their DNA. The clone Jean begins losing control after Sinister activates her programming. She transforms into the Goblin Queen and takes Nathan away. She attacks the X-Men by forcing them to experience their deepest fears. Morph, who previously suffered because of Sinister's experiments, helps the team locate Sinister's hidden laboratory. There they discover the villain's true plan. Sinister has infected baby Nathan with a techno-organic virus, believing it will make him unstoppable. The real Jean enters the mind of the clone and uses their shared memories to break Sinister's control. The clone finally realizes she was manipulated. She chooses the name Madeleine Pryor and helps Cyclops save Nathan. However, the baby is still infected, and there is no cure in their time. Bishop arrives from the future and takes Nathan away, hoping the future will have a way to save him. Madeleine leaves the X-Men behind, starting a new chapter of her own life. Meanwhile, Forge approaches Storm and claims he can restore her powers.
2 Jubilees?
Jubilee, Storm, and the Secrets of the Past. Jubilee wants to celebrate turning 18. But Magneto refuses because he believes the team needs to stay focused. Feeling disappointed, Jubilee receives a mysterious video game system called Nintendo. The game pulls Jubilee and Roberto into a digital world created by Mojo, the alien obsessed with entertainment and controlling his audience. Inside the game, Jubilee relives her past adventures and realizes how much her life as an X-Man has shaped her. She meets Abscissa, an older digital version of herself created from an unfinished version of the game. Abscissa warns Jubilee that she cannot live forever in the past. Jubilee learns that growing up means accepting change. With Roberto's help, she defeats Mojo and returns home, finally understanding that her future matters more than her memories. Meanwhile, Forge takes Storm to his ranch and shows her a machine designed to restore her powers. But Storm discovers something disturbing. Forge created the technology that inspired mutant inhibitor collars and the weapon used by Executioner. Feeling betrayed, Storm leaves, but the situation gets worse when Forge is attacked by a demon called the Adversary. To save Forge, Storm must face the creature that represents her deepest fears. She realizes her power was never only about her abilities. It was about who she truly is. Storm regains her powers and defeats the Adversary.
Remember it.
The fall of Genosha. While Storm returns stronger than ever, a disaster begins unfolding elsewhere. Magneto and Rogue travel to Genosha, where the mutant nation prepares to join the United Nations. The leaders ask Magneto to become their leader, and he agrees only if Rogue stands beside him. Rogue then reveals a painful secret. She once had a relationship with Magneto because his powers allowed her to touch him safely, something she could never experience with Gambit. During the celebration, Rogue kisses Magneto, but she immediately realizes she made the wrong choice. Her heart still belongs to Gambit. Then everything changes. Cable arrives from the future and reveals that the young Nathan is actually his older self. But before he can explain what is coming, he is pulled back through time. The future he was trying to prevent arrives anyway. A new army of Sentinels attacks Genosha, led by an upgraded Master Mold. Thousands of mutants are killed. In the middle of the destruction, Gambit sacrifices himself by attacking Master Mold and saving Rogue. His death becomes one of the most tragic moments in X-Men history. The rise of Bastion. While the X-Men mourn Gambit, a much bigger threat begins emerging. Xavier, who is alive in space, learns about Gambit's death and decides he must return to Earth. The person behind the Genosha attack is revealed to be Bastion. He is a human-machine hybrid created from advanced Sentinel technology. His goal is to create a future where mutants are controlled and humanity rules forever. Bastion works with Mister Sinister to transform ordinary humans into Prime Sentinels. These people appear normal until they activate and attack mutants. Soon, Prime Sentinels begin attacking all over the world. Xavier's school is destroyed, and the X-Men are forced into another war. Stay Dr. Valerie Cooper realizes Bastion has gone too far and releases Magneto. But Magneto responds in the only way he knows. He creates a worldwide blackout by destroying global power systems, stopping the Prime Sentinels, but also causing massive destruction. To Magneto, this is no longer about peace. This is war.
The offer was made. The door is...
The final battle. Xavier returns and reunites with the X-Men, but his dream of human and mutant peace is falling apart. The team splits into two groups. Cyclops, Jean, and others go after Magneto on Asteroid M, while Storm's team attacks Bastion's base. Beast and Forge create a device that can stop Bastion's control over the Prime Sentinels. During the battle, Sinister attacks again and uses Cable against Jean. On Asteroid M, Xavier tries to reach Magneto mentally, but Magneto refuses to listen. Wolverine attacks Magneto, but Magneto responds by ripping the adamantium from Wolverine's body, nearly killing him. Xavier finally stops Magneto and restores power to Earth, but the damage is already done. Jean connects with the Phoenix and uses its power to stop Bastion. She frees the Prime Sentinels and removes Sinister's control over Cable. The X-Men then try to stop Asteroid M from crashing into Earth. When governments launch missiles at the asteroid, it seems like all hope is lost. But Magneto finally returns to the man Xavier believed he could become. He uses his powers to push the asteroid away from Earth. The explosion destroys the asteroid, and the world believes the X-Men are dead.
The X-Men are dead.
The beginning of a new era. 6 months later, Bishop arrives with shocking news. The X-Men were not killed. They were scattered through time. Cyclops and Jean are sent thousands of years into the future, where they encounter Mother Ascani and a young Nathan. Meanwhile, Rogue, Nightcrawler, Beast, Xavier, and Magneto are sent back to ancient Egypt. There they meet a young mutant who will one day become one of their greatest enemies. His name is Ensaba Nor, Apocalypse, and as the season ends, the future of the X-Men becomes even more dangerous. In present-day Genosha, Apocalypse discovers Gambit's playing card, hinting that the death of Gambit may be connected to something much larger. X-Men 97 Season 1 ends with the X-Men separated, their dream damaged, and a new threat rising. But one thing remains clear: the fight between humans and mutants is far from over.
Magneto!
Our nerdy thoughts. And that brings us to the end of everything that happened in X-Men 97 Season 1. The X-Men lost friends, faced their darkest fears, and watched their dream of coexistence come closer to destruction than ever before. But with the team scattered across time, Apocalypse rising, and the future of mutants hanging in the balance, this story is only getting bigger. Season 2 is set to continue this massive journey, and after everything we saw in Season 1, there are still countless questions waiting to be answered. What will happen to the X-Men trapped in the past and future? Can Xavier's dream survive? And what role will Apocalypse play in the next chapter? Let me know your theories in the comments, and if you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more breakdowns, explanations, and everything about the Marvel Universe.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.